Hey, this is Professor Fay with your anatomy lesson of the day. Today we're going to talk about the coronary circulation. So I've got a model of the heart here. All these little red and blue vessels that you can see, we're going to give some of those names, okay? So on the anterior surface of the heart, we're going to think about the left ventricle. Remember that contracts and it pumps blood through an aortic semilunar valve into the ascending aorta here. So that ascending aorta's got two branches that come off of it. There's a right and a left coronary artery. Right here you can see the right coronary artery hooking around. This would be the front part of the right atrium, but I have it removed so that you can see this coronary artery better. Okay, so that comes and it hooks around. The right edge of the heart has the marginal artery or marginal branch coming down it. The right coronary artery continues posteriorly, and then it gives another branch that's the posterior interventricular artery or posterior interventricular branch. So that's it. The right coronary artery again gives rise to the marginal branch and the posterior interventricular branch. Now if we come back to the anterior surface of the heart, that ascending aorta again has the left coronary artery branching off of it, but it's tucked behind the pulmonary trunk and kind of under this auricle of the left atrium, and so you can't see that well, so you'll have to take my word for it. Hope you will. But it does have a branch that it goes down the front of the heart, the anterior surface. That's the anterior interventricular artery, which can also be called the left anterior descending artery. And then the left coronary artery continues around in the coronary sulcus here and gives a branch down the left edge of the heart called the circumflex branch or circumflex artery. And so that's the arterial supply. Now veins are in place to drain the myocardium as it's doing all of its work associated with contracting and relaxing and keeping us alive. And so we've then got a bunch of corresponding veins. So all the veins are going to drain back to the right atrium of the heart through that coronary sinus right there. And if I turn the heart to the posterior view, you can see basically where the coronary sinus comes into the wall of the right atrium. So what's going back to it? Well, on the back side here, paired with that's the posterior interventricular artery we just named, and paired with it is the middle cardiac vein. Okay. Now, if we come to the right edge of the heart, we had that marginal artery, and right next to it is the small cardiac vein. If you feel marginalized, you've been made to feel small, and so for me, I remember that these two go together because the words have similar meanings, marginalized and small. So marginal artery, small cardiac vein, and that would drain back this way. Okay. On the anterior surface of the heart, we've got the anterior interventricular artery in red, and in blue, the great cardiac vein. If you're great at something, you're probably kind of in the front of whatever field. And so this is right on the anterior surface of the heart, or the front of the heart, that great cardiac vein. And then finally, we have the circumflex artery on the left, the left edge of the heart, or the left edge of the left ventricle. And with it, we have the posterior vein of the left ventricle. And that one just describes exactly where it's located. So posterior vein of the left ventricle runs with that circumflex artery. And so again, all of these veins drain back to the right atrium of the heart via that coronary sinus.